September 18th. It's 11:30 a.m. We'll excuse Commissioner Summers. He is on his honeymoon right now, so he's not here. So we'll ask Commissioner Bingham to give our invocation, followed by, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance led by our County Assessor, Rod Bennett.
Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee at the beginning of this commission meeting, we're thankful unto Thee for the blessings of life that we enjoy, the opportunity to live in a land of freedom and to have the opportunity to work and to strive to prepare for the future and to raise our families and to enjoy the opportunities that we have in our lives. We're grateful for the blessings that we receive, those that we recognize and even those that sometimes we don't. We're thankful for the opportunity to be involved in our local government and pray that that will help us to have clear focus of those things that we need to do to be blessing to the people in our county and to be able to help them with the challenges that they have need as best we can. We ask for Thy Spirit to be with us in attendance this day, that that which we do will be according to Thy mind and will. And we thank Thee again for our blessings and ask for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have minutes from August 14th and September 4th that we need to get approval for.
Okay, I've reviewed the minutes and I make a motion that we approve the minutes for August
14th or 18th? 18th?
18th and September 4th.
Okay, have a motion to approve the minutes from August 18th.
Oh, hold on, Matt.
Make sure I got this right. I'm showing,
Today's the 18th, huh?
yeah, I'm looking.
It is the 14th.
It's the
I
14th.
apologize. My
Okay,
apologies.
Let me review
there
that.
you go.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for August 14th and September 4th, 2024.
Okay, have a motion, I'll second it. Have a motion to approve the minutes from August 14th to September 4th. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Okay. Let's see, administrative review, reports, future agenda items, and also this goes into ARPA and LITCF. What we'll probably end up doing is we need to do some change, so look at the ARPA funds, where they're at, and figure out if there's any extensions or what we need to do with ARPA going forward in the next meeting, I think. So we can plan for that, put that on the agenda to adjust any of those as necessary, so. And let's see, there may be a couple other items that may come up. Any other former agenda item issues we need to talk about?
Not today, thanks.
Okay. And don't have any emergency management issues currently. In fact, actually, emergency management, we have our emergency managers participating in a tabletop exercise down in Weber County for us right now. So that takes us to our Box Elder County employee recognition. And I'd like to recognize this employee. Received an email, and I know I've watched this employee, I actually knew this employee before he came to work for Box Elder County, and it didn't surprise me when I got this Employee of the Month recommendation. The nomination came in and said that they would like to nominate Joe Krebs for the Employee of the Month. They said he's knowledgeable for all aspects of their department, which is in the assessor's office. He's an excellent trainer for coworkers. He's calm. His calm manner in dealing and educating the public who have questions is admirable. His humor is priceless, especially if you love dad jokes. We have to maybe pull him up and see what kind of dad jokes he can come up with off the cuff here. He keeps us smiling and makes the office pleasant to work in, especially during this time of the year when tax valuation notices are hitting the public. Joe maintains an even keel and helps the ship upright. He's great with the public. I do see that quite frequently when he's here in the building. If he sees somebody looking for something, he's always willing to step in and ask them what they're looking for and help them get guidance to where they need to go. They said he's super to his coworkers. He's got your back and is very trustworthy. He's the best sounding board. He's an advocate when you need one. He's respectful always. He's the go-to guy when you need help. He's knowledgeable in the details. He's needed by the rest of us. He's honest and has great integrity and is deserving of a raise. But since I can't do anything about that, I'm going to nominate him for Employee of the Month. So with that, Joe, we'd like to have you come up here and be recognized as our Employee of the Month for this month. they may not be able to get you a raise, but we do know who could. Come on up here.
He tricked me into coming.
He tricked you into coming, didn't tell you what you're coming for?
No.
Come on over here. You just thought you were here to say the prayer, right? We were actually looking for a dad joke. That's what it really was.
I've got him.
Okay, let's look right over here and we'll get a picture. Okay, congratulations, and we'll get with you on that, okay? So, get us a list of dad jokes so we can have, our dad jokes for us.
There we go, that's the problem.
Yeah, one of the light switches was off still. Okay. All right. We appreciate our employees and the great job that they do here in the county. We have so many great employees that are doing many, many amazing things throughout the county, and grateful that we can recognize them and, again, let them know we appreciate their service to the citizens of this county. So with that, that takes us to items 8, public interest presentations. We have an internet connections in Box Elder County. Ty Walker. Come on up, Ty. If you'll come up and sit at this chair, and whoever you bring with you, just make sure the mic's close to your mouth, introduce yourself, and then you can tell us about what you're here to talk to us about.
All right, so I'm Ty Walker. This is Shane Jacobson. He's going to pass those out. We'll give you a brief little intro. So we're longtime Box Elder County residents that have actually got into the internet service provider field. We've been providing internet service for the past 6 years here in the county. And it's been a really good option for a lot of people here in Box Elder County. Currently, we've really focused on wireless internet, but we do see a lot of opportunity and a lot of growth with fiber optics. And we've got a lot of interest in moving into that. Shane and I, and we've also got one of our network guys here today, Brett. We just wanted to really meet with you guys and see if there's any areas that we could kind of help you with, see if you've got any tips or hints for us. And we've got a few points there on this flyer that I think Shane wants to kind of touch on. But if you guys can kind of be thinking of that as he's sharing these points with you, if there's any pain points the county has as far as expanding fiber optic internet, and also if there's any areas in specific that you guys feel like you need some extra help with. So I'll pass this over to Shane.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Shane Jacobson. Resident here in Box Elder County, and this is kind of just accident that we had a bunch of resources come together that we all have a unique skill set, anywhere from digging in the ground with excavators and getting all the infrastructure in place for fiber optic internet. We also are doing a hybrid kind of between wireless and fiber optic, and that's going to help a lot for rural areas where it just doesn't make sense to get fiber optic to every household. But we want to help Box Elder County achieve some of the challenges that they have trying to get the fiber out. There's lots of grants coming down and challenges associated to making sure all the resources and companies are working together to help with the deployment of internet to our communities and businesses. So we've got a kind of a unique in-house team that has really extensive skills in the construction, laying down water lines and different things, and then fiber optic infrastructure. I've supported the aerospace industry here in Box Elder County, and specifically worked a lot with fiber optic communications, and we've had resources here that's been interested in making this come together. So we just wanted to get our name just kind of out there and look for future opportunities, future endeavors that we can add assistance for Box Elder County. I don't know if there's any questions that you have for us at this point that we can try.
Yeah, I mean, there's, the county's been involved with laying fiber optic line and still in that process with, support from the federal government. What is it that you're talking about providing that would be different than that?
The last mile that gets that fiber optic to the household to where a customer can subscribe and utilize that service. I think there's still quite a few different sections in Box Elder County that haven't been covered yet. I think there's been good coverage in dense areas in a lot of areas, but in different communities. There's a Utah Broadband Center. They approach sections by census blocks, and there's still quite a few census blocks that haven't been covered yet. And so we would definitely be interested in helping getting every census block taken care of in Box Elder County.
So your company is North BoxNet? Is that the name of the company then? Yeah. Okay. All right. And you mentioned there's high-speed internet, which is obviously the fiber, but are you doing like satellite, or how are we doing the other type of service?
You know, the wireless.
Wireless, yeah.
So if there are areas that just don't pencil out financially, if it's going to cost too much to actually drag fiber
Yeah.
because the houses are spaced out too far apart, that is an option, and we've got 6 years experience doing that.
Okay.
Obviously, we do want to continue to push towards fiber just because that's kind of the way the future is going. But I think a big thing that, we want to get across to you guys is by keeping a lot of this work in-house, we don't want to waste tax dollars. We are actively pursuing BEAD money. And rather than contracting a lot of work out to, companies out of the county, we're going to keep stuff in-house. So I feel like a cost per home, we're going to be very competitive compared to some others. So that's why, like Shane said, we just wanted to get on your radar.
Yeah.
I know that there's options within the county, people that live here and care about the people as well, and want to provide them good service.
Great.
So,
Well, we appreciate you coming and talking to us, and we've got your information along with the information you provided to get on the agenda, so
Okay.
we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I have just another question. So you have wireless towers now?
We do, yeah. We've got 6
Where are they
right now.
Where are they located?
So we've got one that's just on the outskirts of Bear River City that serves a lot of Honeyville, the outer parts of Bear River City. We have one that's on Little Mountain that serves a lot of West Corinne, and also Thatcher Penrose are served by that site. We've got one that's in West Corinne that's serving that area. And then one that's out just on the west side of Tremonton that serves a lot of Bothwell and like Marble Hills, those areas. So,
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
okay, thank you guys.
There's also unlicensed bands and licensed bands, and they are utilizing, we're utilizing some of the licensed bands as well. It helps maintain reliability on the wireless communications. Sometimes the unlicensed stuff, you have competing companies that are running into collisions on the same frequencies. So the licensed bands are helping with making sure that it's as reliable as possible if wireless is used. So
Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys.
The next item we have is the Mund Annexation Proposal Island. Carson, Brianna Mund.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Hey, so kind of,
You're our new football coach, right?
I am.
Okay.
So
But you need to tell us your name in the microphone.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Carson Mund, and then this is my wife.
Brianna Mund.
Okay.
So, biggest thing is we have family land in South Willard. Right now, my dad's business is just sitting east of that property. And then there's some property just west of him that, yeah, I'm sure you guys have the parcel number, that right now is just being used for grazeland for a few cattle. And we just would like to have the opportunity to build a house in that area. As of right now, there's no development or anything going on down there.
Right?
It would just be a single family home down there.
So where are you going to get your utilities, your water?
And so those are the things we kind of came to see where we gotta kind of what you guys need to go from there. Part of it was to tie into the subdivisions around that area. So kind of build on the west part of that parcel. And so we can tie in right into those utilities in those subdivisions right there.
So, I mean, that's kind of a hot topic, and so you would be in the Willard annexation zone? Is that what it would be?
Have you talked to Willard City, I guess is the question at this point, or?
No, that's our
That's
next,
okay.
yeah.
We're told to go here.
Yep.
And then Willard and then.
But some insider info has told me that's probably gonna get rejected to be annexed into Willard.
So the service provider for South Willard is the Bear River Water Conservancy District? Have you talked to them about water service?
No, we haven't, no.
We were just told to do this first, then Willard City, and then those.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I know they are the ones that provide water to South Willard, so they might be one that you'd need to be on the radar with, but.
Okay.
And his father does well, so.
Is this by the property where your dad's wells
Yeah.
operation
So
business is?
South Willard, yeah, so my dad's operation is just east of this parcel.
Okay.
Um,
Yep, right off the highway. I don't know if you know where the,
I know where it is, so is it on the east side of the highway or
No,
the
it's
west
on
side?
the west
West
side.
side,
If it was the east side, it'd be a little bit easier because South Willard has that well right there
Right.
that they bought from my family.
Oh.
But anyway, that's kind of where the west side is a little bit, the east side is in trust. The west side is under the my dad. So that's kind of where we're at in that, and we kind of just trying to find the next steps to kind of get this process.
is there anything specifically, Annie, you can,
So for the annexation process, according to state code, the reason they have to come to you is that the county, their annexation would create an island in the
Right.
middle of county property. And so they just have to have basically an approval that the county doesn't object to having an island in the middle of our unincorporated property. And then from that point, then they can go back and work with the city to go through the annexation process.
which is what we've done on numerous
done it.
other occasions, yeah. So, okay. Anything else?
I have no more questions.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the MUND annexation proposal island for South Willard.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thanks, sir.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
You don't have to play Roy again, right? That was rough, I know. But Bear River was good.
Hey, we were there though.
But for those of us who went to Box Elder, Bear River was good, so,
Yeah, that was,
anyway.
hopefully we get another one.
All right, thank you.
You get in trouble, Commissioner, saying things like that.
Well, no, I'm the Box Elder side, you can be the Bear River side, so there, it's just what it is. When you go to high school, you have to stick with it. All right, we need to deal with updates to the commission meeting schedule agenda. So, I'm gonna throw out, we have our October 2nd meeting, it's just still gonna stay the way it is, it's an afternoon meeting. We need to make an adjustment for the lack of commissioners who will not be in town on October 16th. So we need to move the October 16th meeting to October 23rd, which is 1 week later. But we need to start, rather than at 11 a.m. or 11:30, we would start that meeting at 1 p.m. Because there's a meeting in Salt Lake that I have to be at, so we'll do,
Do the work session at 1 or the
we do
regular?
work session at 1 and start the meeting at 1:15, yes. So the actual commission meeting would start at 1:15, but we do the work session at 1, because there's a meeting we have to be at from till noon in Salt Lake, so if everything goes well, that would work out for that day. And then the second adjustment, we'd keep November 6th is the correct, we'd have that at the afternoon meeting, and then we would go to November 19th instead of November 20th, so we can do the
Canvas.
canvassing for our elections. So we can handle canvassing and have our commission meeting as well on the 19th. And that will be our daytime meeting, so that'll be the 11:15, 11:30, correct? Okay, and we'll do the canvassing at 11. So canvassing at 11, then we do 11:15 administrative, 11:30 for our commission meeting on the 19th instead of the
So-
20th.
So just a reminder, I'm gonna be out of town, so I'll call
You'll be
in.
calling in that day? Okay. And then the last adjustment we need to make is our December 4th commission meeting. Instead of a 5 PM start, 4:45 administrative, we would bump it 1 hour earlier. We would do a 3:45 PM administrative meeting and a 4 PM start on December 4th. Those are the changes that we'd like to take a motion on.
I'll make a motion that we update the commission meeting schedule with the aforementioned changes.
And I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right. Now we go on to community development. Let's see, we've got agreement 2430. Scott, is Scott not, oh, there you are.
Scott Lyons, Community Development. So here there's two agreements back to back, 2430 and 2431. These are agreements between Box Elder County and Garland City regarding two properties that are in the process of being annexed into Garland City. So what Garland has requested, and they sent over some these agreements. The agreements have been to the attorney's office, and he's had a chance to review those. Is essentially allowing Garland has requested that these properties are still in the county until the annexation is complete. But while they're in the county, Garland has requested that they have the ability to work with the landowners going through like the site plan approval process, building permit approval process, that sort of thing. That they have jurisdiction over that as they proceed through the annexation process. So once the annexation is complete, they can kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah, it'll be up to Garland City Code, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So are we dealing with both of these at once or individually?
Well, we need to do each one individually. So you want to make a motion on the agreement 2430?
I will make a motion. Did you make the motion?
No, I need to have.
I will make a motion that we approve agreement 3430, pre-annexation development agreement with Garland City,
2430, right?
2430.
Okay. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. You want to do the next one?
I will also make another motion that we approve agreement 2431, pre-annexation development agreement with Garland City.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All right, thank you. All right, buildings and grounds, Cody.
Cody Inland Buildings and Grounds. This is a multi-jurisdiction building inspection services agreement. Thank Annie for helping us get this together. This has been required of us from DOPL, from the state legislature, that we have an agreement with those around us to fulfill the requirements. If we aren't able to meet inspections within a time frame that DOPL is required, that they have contractors, those who've pulled building permits, have a resource to use these other individuals to fulfill the inspection requirements. So this is statewide, that we just have these in place. I've never had to use, I've always met the requirements of the contractors. We've never had to utilize anybody to fulfill our roles as inspectors. We've never been more than 24 hours out on inspections, but DOPL has come in through the state legislature and forced our hand to say, they've just brushed this with the wide brush, statewide, that everybody has to meet this because there's some jurisdictions that haven't been meeting the time frame requirement, and we don't have any issues with that. But I have to have this in place, and the three have agreed to it, and this is
So
what
the
it is.
current three that you're saying are Brigham City, Perry, and Hyde Park?
That's correct.
So we're handling Hyde Park and Cass County. huh?
I either go to Weber County or up to, yep. And Hyde Park, because they act kind of like Box Elder does up here, because they have multiple units. They do different, all of the smaller cities.
Okay.
So they have a staff
Yeah.
to meet those requirements, and we can help them. But we've never.
We haven't had to deal with that, but we just have to have this in place.
Yep, we'll be audited.
Annie, you guys are comfortable with this from the county attorney's office?
Yeah, it's the best way to accomplish what the legislature's asking us to do.
Did they put it's a 3-day rule type of thing in there or something like that?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I kind of remember that happening. Okay,
I'm biting my tongue.
you mean with the legislature telling us what to do?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
biting my
I
tongue.
totally get it.
So I'll make a motion that we approve multi-jurisdictional building inspection services agreement 2432 with Brigham City, Perry City, and Hyde Park City.
I'll second it. Any discussion? See none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Okay. Now, Annie, make sure, we need to go into RDA first and handle that first, then we can come back to item 12, right?
Right.
Okay,
Okay, I,
make a motion to go
we
into
have to
RDA.
close this meeting or just?
No, we're not closing this meeting, we're just going into RDA.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go into our RDA meeting.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're now in an RDA meeting. We're gonna, we gotta turn off, yeah, we gotta switch the recording, so it'll just take us a second here. We only have one item on the agenda for the RDA meeting at this point. Ready to go? All right, now we're on to, back in commission meeting, we're gonna go to item number 12, economic development. We have ordinance 603 adopting the Third Amendment to EDA 2008-01 as approved by the Box Elder County Redevelopment Agency as the official economic development project area plan for the PNG EDA. That's kind of what we just talked about, correct? In our RDA. You want to
Yeah.
go over this with us, Annie?
Now that the RDA has officially approved the amended version of the PNG EDA, the local legislative body is then required to adopt it to make it official. So this is what this ordinance accomplishes.
We'll adopt, okay?
Adopt what we just made a motion to do.
What we just did in
Approved
RDA.
it as the RDA board.
Now we need to
And now
adopt
as
it.
the legislative body, you need to adopt it.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 603 adopting the Third Amendment EDA 2008-01.
okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. All right, you want to talk about Resolution 24-12? You want to come up?
I knew you couldn't stay in the back the whole meeting.
I feel dared not to say anything now.
You better say your name, though.
I'm
My name is
teasing.
Sean Milne. I'm the Director of Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs with the Bear River Association of Governments, or BRAG. And I'm joined here virtually through my laptop with Stephanie Pack of the Inland Port Authority. She's not feeling well, and she didn't want to share that with all of us, so she has stayed home, and she's with me remotely through my laptop speakers. So if you have any questions, she's standing by. Well, Commissioner Bingham, I don't know if I'm taking your bait, but as you know, this has been before you before as a discussion item. We've discussed it at great length. The Attorney's Office and Charlene and Marla, their offices have also contributed to a whole lot of homework over the last several months. As with the last two agenda items, the one in County Commission meeting that just preceded this one and the RDA before, you know that we extracted those parcels from a pre-existing RDA so that they could be available as a new zone within the project area, the Golden Spike project area through the Inland Port Authority here in Box Elder County. This item seeks to now convert those into that expansion through what's called an amendment process, as well as some areas to the north, just outside of Tremont city limits, but part of their annexation plan. Sorry, in order to have her available to speak up, you're also hearing my emails catching up here with those dings. I apologize. So the northern area is called the Harwood Zone, and we're calling the area that is here the permafrost zone. It's particularly drawn the way that it is because there is a company that is very, very interested in locating here in Box Elder County. Happy to discuss that with greater detail if you'd like, though we should probably hold some of that back as it's an ongoing negotiation. I stand ready for any questions that you might have about this. Otherwise, I presume you guys are kind of caught up on what we're exploring here.
So when we discussed this before, we talked about the size of the area, and we pared that down, right?
Considerably for the permafrost zone, yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
To only include the parcels that are under contract. And I look back at the Realtor representing the seller in this particular case.
Our understanding is the seller is really interested, along with the buyer, in making all this take place, right?
Correct, yeah. It's somewhat conditional on the permafrost, that they know that they need rail served property. They know that they're going to need a spur off of the active line. And that is the Inland Port Authority's primary benefit, of course, is rail active or rail served properties.
Okay.
Okay,
They've done a couple of extensions actually as a result of seeing this process through. So extensions to their contract to purchase.
And our understanding of the Harwood Zone, Tremont one would be that this is something Tremont City is along with the landowner, are interested in pursuing, correct?
It is, and I don't want to steal all the thunder from Stephanie. Stephanie, if you want to unmute or if you want to speak to the presentation that was made to the Tremont City Council and give you an opportunity to say something if you'd like.
Since this area to the north is part of Tremonton City's annexation plan, they are in support of the inclusion of this piece into the project area. This is owned by a single landowner. And so it will eventually be a part of Tremonton City. And so they are aware of and in favor of this amendment.
Yeah, just to reiterate, there was a very robustly attended, but not with pitchforks, torches or anything like that. It was just a very robust discussion and a lot of active questions by city council members to better understand what the end import is versus some of the rumors of what they are not. I would call it very thorough and a very favorable response by the time it all was said and done. And they've had multiple weeks now for follow-up discussions to take place, and no one's expressed any concerns.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 24-12, supporting the amendment of the Golden Spike Utah Inland Port Authority project area in Box Elder County to allow for the inclusion of parcels related to 2 new commercial developments, Harwood and Permafrost.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank
And
you.
again, I really appreciate the attorney's office and the clerks and auditors.
Yep. Thank you.
Sorry for joking, Sean. I know you'll still be my friend.
All right, we're gonna go to our weed department. I don't know why it's under landfill, but we're gonna go to the weed department. So come on up. We haven't moved you, have we?
No.
Okay, we're just checking. I think you're under road department, but that's okay.
Yeah, Wyatt Freeze, County Weed Department. I just have a cooperative agreement between us and the UDWR for fiscal year 25. This reimburses the county for the amount of $15,000 for treatment of Phragmites and other secondary weeds throughout the county. So basically a renewal. We've had this for a number of years. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
No, I don't have any
Get
questions.
rid of the Phragmites, baby. Let's get rid of it.
So I'll make a motion that we approve cooperative agreement 24-27 between Box Elder County and Utah Department of Natural Resources, Division of Wildlife Resources.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Wyatt.
All right. Since our county attorney's not here, I'm assuming Andy's going to take this next one here from the sheriff's office. Appoint commission members to the Box Elder County Deputy Sheriff's Merit Commission.
It's been a while since we've had to utilize the Sheriff's Merit Commission, the Deputy Sheriff's Merit Commission. So we needed to appoint and maybe reappoint some of the members that to that commission so that we can move forward. The names of those that we're requesting be appointed are John Bunderson, Tim Munns, and Bill Myers. There's some really specific criteria in the state statute of what the committee has to be made up of, including one member who isn't one of the primary party of the elected officials. So that meets all the criteria, and I believe the sheriff was going to reach out to him, but we need the commission's appointment, and then we can get it all set up.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to appoint commission members to the Box Elder County Deputy Sheriff's Merit Commission that were just mentioned by Deputy County Attorney Ann Hansen.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
In conjunction with that, the former secretary for the Box Elder County Deputy Sheriff's Merit Commission has moved into a different department, and so it was necessary to appoint a new secretary. And so we are proposing that we appoint Tammy Gibson from the clerk's office as the new secretary.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we appoint Tammy Gibson for the Box Elder County Deputy Sheriff's Merit Commission.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Okay, motion passed unanimously. All right. Okay. Just signing a couple of these. Okay, those are all done. All right, this takes us to public comment. Switch this out. Under public comment, of course, those wishing to make public comment need to sign the comment roll. We have 2 that have done that. They provided 1 3-minute opportunity to speak regardless of the number of items they wish to address. The speakers need to address their comments to the county commission only. It's a time to be heard. There will be no back and forth dialogue with the commissioners. And the speakers may file copies of their remarks or supporting information with the county clerk's office, and the clerk can make that information available to the county commission. So with that, we'll start with Deanna Hardy.
Okay, Deanna Hardy, Brigham. The state of Utah used propaganda to promote that voting by mail was cheaper than voting in person at our local polling locations, but this is not true. Brigham City reported that before they went to voting by mail, their elections costs were between $8,000 and $9,000. After Brigham City went to voting by mail, their election costs were now $38,000. This is a substantial increase. The Box Elder Committee of Liberty encourages our representatives to be more prudent with our tax dollars and to return to voting in person at our local polling locations and eliminating mass mail-in voting, which will help lower the people's tax burden. The Book of Mormon, this book was written for our day. The prophets saw us and knew what we would be doing. The stories in this book are to help us see the secret combinations that will destroy the freedoms of all people of all nations. Ezra Taft Benson stated, in a premortal council, Christ and all who followed him stood for freedom of choice. Satan stood for coercion and force. The conflict continues on the battlefield of mortality. And one of Lucifer's primary strategies has been to restrict our agency through the power of earthly governments. He further stated, the time is fast approaching when it will require great courage for Latter-day Saints to stand up for their peculiar standards and doctrine, all of their doctrine, including the more weighty principles such as the principle of freedom. Remember, each of us has a natural right from God to defend his person, his liberty, and his property. Frederick Bastiat. The Box Elder Committee of Liberty will continue to pray for this commission, as well as our representatives, to have the courage to stand for truth and righteousness, restore the principle of freedom, and uphold our U.S. Constitution and our state constitution. Remember, you have both constitutions to support your decisions in upholding the right to life, liberty, and property. We hope you'll have the courage and strength to stand for the rights of the people given by God. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next person on the agenda has to speak is Fred Hayes.
Good afternoon. Fred Hayes, Bear River Precinct. Just a comment on the public comment of 3 minutes. It would be advantageous for more of the public would be able to hear the comments if they were moved to the front of the meeting, and that would be a negligible impact on your scheduled times. You know, you generally have just a few people speaking. A lot more people, not more public could hear. About a year ago, I went to the voting center out in Tremont at the senior center, and I inquired about who was on the available to vote for in the write-in category.
certified write-in candidates, and no one there knew who they were, and there was nothing posted on the wall. And I would hope that this county would make an effort to announce in a prominent place and to educate the election officials that are at the vote centers on all legitimate write-in candidates. I don't think that could possibly be construed as electioneering, making a certified list prominently available. I'll be supplying the county with a copy of the DVD Fingerprints of Fraud by Jeff O'Donnell, which covers the Mesa County, Colorado election manipulation. And we've noticed here in the last week that people requesting petitions, the names of the signatories on petitions, now the names are, even if they're public, they're not listed, not just private or withheld. So you can see what direction, openness we have here in this state. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our public comment. We've dealt with our warrant register at this point. Is there any personnel? We got to deal with one personnel action here. It's a way long one. There we go. I think this is the shortest one I've ever dealt with.
I almost didn't even have to go.
I know, that's pretty amazing. All right, so we've got that personnel action dealt with. Is there anything, Annie, we need to deal with in closed session?
Not that I know of.
Okay, you didn't have anything, right? Okay. Well, I entertain one final motion then.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Okay.